So we are continuing endocrinology. Before going to the each and every hormone, I need to talk to you about the 2 points regarding the pituitary gland and the hormones. We know that okay, anterior pituitary is having 5 hormones, but in that there are acidophilic hormones and basophilic hormones. Okay, so how can we divide them, basophilic and acidophilic? So which hormones are basophilic and which hormones are acidophilic? Let's go to the mnemonic. B flat. Okay, B flat is mnemonic for the basophilic, and acid pig is the mnemonic for acidophilic. Okay, so what are the 4 hormones? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. All these are hormones which are produced by anterior pituitary. B flat, what are the basophilic? FSH, LH, ACTH, and TSH. All these are basophilic, whereas prolactin and growth hormone are acidophilic. Okay. Now, before going to the growth hormone, let us talk about basic information of hormones and their action. Regarding the hormones, we have 2 types of hormones: group 1, group 2. In group 1, they are fat soluble or lipid soluble group. Group 2, water soluble group. Okay. What are the lipid soluble hormones like? Do you know? Yes, thyroid hormones and steroid hormones. These are lipid soluble. Why they are lipid soluble? Why? Because these thyroid hormone and steroid hormones, for example, if this is a cell, this is the lipid layer, or you know that cell wall is having lipid layer. So easily they can enter thyroid hormones or steroid hormones, enter the cell. Either they act on the receptor present in the cytoplasm, or they go into the nucleus and act on the DNA or receptors present inside the nucleus or on the nucleus. So based on that, we have 2 types. But all lipid soluble hormones act on nuclear receptors. They are known as nuclear receptors, but a receptor for them are present on the nucleus and in the cytoplasm also. Which hormones are acting on the nucleus? You know, T3, T4, vitamin A, and PPR alpha and gamma, and female sex steroids like what? Estrogen and progesterone. All these 4 are acting on the nucleus. T3, T4, vitamin A, PPR, alpha and gamma, and female sex steroids like estrogen and the progesterone. And what are acting on the cytoplasm? Like androgen receptors. Yes, you know, yes, androgens. Next, mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoids. Okay, and one more, vitamin D. Of course, there are some controversies in these examples of nuclear receptors and the cytoplasm receptors, but up to my knowledge, I'm mentioning these hormones and dividing them like this according to my references. So, what are the lipid soluble hormones? Thyroid hormones and steroid hormones. They can easily cross. They can easily cross what? They can easily cross the they can easily cross the membrane cell membrane and act on the nucleus or cytoplasm. And there are two types of receptors, nuclear receptors acting on the nucleus and on the cytoplasm. On the nucleus, T3, T4, vitamin A, PPA, alpha, gamma, sex steroids like estrogen, progesterone. Cytoplasm receptors are androgen receptors, mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, and vitamin D. Now, coming to the water soluble vitamins, all polypeptides and monoamines are water soluble hormones. That means they cannot cross the cell membrane because they're water soluble. So, the receptors for them are present on the cell membrane itself. Okay. Um, for example, they can act on the receptor, and they can act via two processes like tyrosine kinase pathway and GPCR pathway. Okay. uh, on that based on means depending on the tyrosine kinase pathway, we have two or three hormones like prolactin, growth hormone, insulin. Okay, prolactin, insulin, and growth hormone. All remaining act through GPCR receptors. GPCR receptor is also known as, we should not draw like this, just receptor. GPCR receptor will be like this. You know that. Especially, how should I tell you? GPCR receptor is also known as 7 pass receptor or serpentine receptor. Why? Because it's having 7 wave like form, same like a snake. That's why it is known as serpentine receptor or 7 pass receptor, because it is 7 times curved. So, GPCR acting on the cell via three mechanisms. Okay, what are the three mechanisms? Via nitric oxide and ANP, via contraction, and via all other mechanisms like restall. Okay, via nitric oxide and ANP, it stimulates cyclic GMP. Okay, it increases cyclic GMP through some mechanisms and causes production of nitric oxide and ANP and cause the effect. Whereas by contraction, it produces IP3 or DAG like secondary messengers with the help of GQ subtype. For example, like oxytocin, because it helps in contraction. Angiotensin, yes, vasoconstriction. Next, vasopressin, obviously vasoconstriction, and ADH also vasopressin. Gastrin, GI contractility. Cholecystokinin, gallbladder contractility. All rest via G stimulatory subunit by increasing cyclic AMP. In this, we have action on two types of muscles like skeletal muscle and smooth muscle. Skeletal muscle plus cardiac muscle. Okay. By acting on the skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, it causes contraction of muscles. Okay, like therefore it increases heart contractility, and there is tremor. So tachycardia, tremors will be the side effect of some hormones or drugs which are acting with this destimulatory type. Whereas on the smooth muscles, it causes relaxation effect. Okay. So this is the brief information about the hormones and their action. Now we are going to talk about each and every hormone. Especially now we are talking about pituitary gland. Okay, from the pituitary gland, which hormone do you want? From childhood we used to study that hormone. Which hormone? Yes, growth hormone. Coming to the growth hormone, um, okay, okay, let me tell you.